Midweek non-conference softball back at Missouri Field and for the first time this season on WBGU 88.1 FM. Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network here at Missouri Field for Bowling Green versus Youngstown State Penguins for the first time of this doubleheader on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. For the Falcon Media Sports Network's preview and recaps of all BGSU athletics, go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter and the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel for rebroadcast video content and the highlights that we will have today, sponsored by Nick Winholtz from the Falcon Media Sports Network as well. Youngstown State comes off of their non-conference games yesterday against the University of Niagara. Pretty good games as well for them. Total of 27 runs scored and only 11 given up in their two doubleheader wins over Niagara at home. They made the trek up here to Bowling Green for a doubleheader today. So back-to-back, they might be a little bit tired coming into today's game. Bowling Green has had a sizable amount of rest, but still is coming off of a very good weekend against Kent State last. Took their first sweep in quite a while in the MAC. 10-2 win in 6 innings in the first day. 7-6 comeback in the first game of the Saturday, and 9-7 win in the game on Saturday as well. A third 3-game doubleheader, 4-1 now in MAC play, and 10-18 overall for the Falcons, who come into this game and a 4-1 record at home. All of those games coming last week. Green Bay split, and Kent State took 2 games. They will roll out a little bit of a different starting lineup today. Katie Hutter leading off, Addie Martin batting second, playing short, Taylor Barrett batting third and playing third base, Hannah Hunt batting fourth and playing second base, Peyton Steffes batting fifth, playing right field. Ava McKee is catching today in place of Ashley Chevalier and batting sixth. Delaney Davis will bat seventh and play left field. Hannah Massaro will play first base and bat eighth, and Kendall Matthews will be the final hole for Bowling Green and play in center field today. So the difference makers being Cam Kaufman, obviously still out for injury, moving the infield around a little bit. Martin will move to short. Taylor Barrett will move from first base over to third. That'll mean Massaro has to step in for first base with Katie Hutter designated hitting, as she only did once last week, and Ava McKee gets a start at catcher, her first since the first series of the season, and the win over Monmouth in the Spartan Classic down in South Carolina. She's been DHing the last couple of games, picked up her bat a little bit, and Ashley Chevalier is the worst registered hitter for Bowling Green, only a $149 this season. She'll get a break for the first time in a while, rest her knees a little bit, and Ava McKee will be behind the dish for Bowling Green. Mackenzie Krafchick will be the pitcher for Bowling Green, as she's on a hot spell herself in a hot streak. When she takes the circle, we'll talk about her a little bit later after we take our quick break. On the side of the University of Youngstown State University, Macy Littler will lead off and play left field. Bree Kohler will play center field and bat second. Ayla Ray batting third, playing second base. Lydia Wilkerson batting fourth at designated hitter. Alyssa Imler playing shortstop and batting fifth. Kennedy Dean batting sixth and catching. Ashlyn Bishop playing right field and batting seventh. Cammie Diaz, who had a heck of a day yesterday against Niagara, playing third base and batting eighth. Taylor Turan batting ninth and playing first base, and Kelsey Ogan will pitch today. Took a win yesterday in the first game against Niagara, and she'll take the circle again today against the Falcons. So take a step back just for a few minutes for them to do the national anthem here at Missouri Field, and we'll bring you gameplay from Missouri Field in Bowling Green, Ohio. Beautiful day and a beautiful day for softball. You're listening to Midweek Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
If you're already awake between 4 and 6 a.m., you may as well have a good time. Check out Early Bird Oldies, playing all the hit music of a different generation on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU. Don't forget to listen to the morning show immediately following Early Bird Oldies every weekday, right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Start your day with WBGU FM and Early Bird Oldies. Tune in to Northwest Ohio's community radio station weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. for classic hit music from decades past. Enjoy all the golden oldies you remember and stick around for local community news and entertainment with The Morning Show. Early Bird Oldies, broadcast weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to Missouri Field. Bowling Green with their sixth home game in a row, this time against Youngstown State, as they look to stay in the win column. They've won 3 straight, and all 3 against Kent State this last weekend. In MAC play, we'll have a non-conference game and roll out a little bit of a different lineup. As I said, we're going to move around the infield as well, as Massaro is going to play first base. Delaney Davis is going to be in left field, and Ava McKee is going to be behind the plate working with fellow battery member Mackenzie Krafchick today. Krafchick on the mound has had a very good last couple of games. 9-game streak of 2 or less earned runs. She's averaging 4 innings pitched during that time as well. In her last 8 appearances, Mackenzie Krafchick is 4-1, 31 innings pitched, 37 hits, only 6 earned runs, 12 strikeouts, and 11 walks. Very good last couple outings for Mackenzie Krafchick. She'll look to keep it going against a pretty good offense for Youngstown State. It's going to be led off with Macy Littler, the left fielder and the sophomore. She's batted pretty well this season, had a decent game yesterday as well, 319 on the season, 29 hits, a double, a triple, not too much power coming from her, but a pretty decent OPS, over 770. Led off both games yesterday, 2 for 5 in the first, 1 for 3 in the second. A couple of walks, a couple of runs, a couple of left on bases as well. Fouls the first pitch, out of play on the deal from Krafchick. Haven't got too much of a lead on how good Ava McKee is behind the plate this season. Their last game caught was in the first series of the season against in the Spartan Classic against Monmouth in the win for Bowling Green. Ashley Chevalier has caught almost every game since then. Slap head out into left field, chasing it down is Delaney Davis, but it'll fall foul for strike number 2 and an early favorable count for Mackenzie Krafchick, who against Kent State and against Green Bay did a very good job of getting ahead in counts. Is the reason she's been so successful is of the last couple of games. 3.6 ERA for Krafchick. 5-3 now, win-loss in only 5 starts. Has made 3 in the last week. She has an 0-2 count to Littler and leaves the ball outside, so the left fielder will take from the left-handed batter's box. Youngstown State with maybe one of the best logos in the NCAA, the Penguins with the stocking cap, the red stocking cap with the white muff on the top. A very good logo, very good uniforms as well. The red jersey, black pants. Ground ball to the shortstop, Addie Martin. Martin throws it over to first to Massaro, and that'll retire 1 early for Bowling Green as Littler grounds out to the shortstop. A lot of weak contact from Krafchick in the last couple of games. It'll bring up Bree Kohler, the center fielder. Kohler had a very good series yesterday. 4 for 7, couple of runs, couple of walks. Only 1 left on base across 2 games, batting in the 2 spot behind Littler in the first spot. Batting righty, grounds to third base. Taylor Barrett makes the play, throws it over to first, and a good pick by Massaro over there to retire the second, and only 1 pitch. So 2 weak contact in a row. So Krafchick will work against Ayla Ray. Ayla Ray, not the greatest game yesterday, 2 for 6, but one of the better hitters again, hitting over 300 on the season. Decent amount of power as well, and an over 770 OPS. Krafchick will take a second to talk with McKee behind the plate. A little bit different than in the game of baseball, and different with different coaches as well, who calls pitches. Doesn't look like McKee is calling pitches today. Didn't look like Chevalier called pitches for Krafchick earlier this year. First strike on the outside edge, a nice off-speed from Krafchick. It looks like McKee's looking over toward the dugout and probably toward Coach Gardner to see what pitch Krafchick is going to throw. Looks at her sleeve. The 0-1 count with 2 outs is lined over to second base out of the reach of Hannah Hunt. It'll be a single for Ayla Ray. We'll get on base first for any of the Penguins. And set up 2-out runner on first for Lydia Wilkerson. Wilkerson, the best hitter, registered for Youngstown State. Very good game yesterday, up to 390 on the season. 3 home runs, 3 doubles for a .510 slugging percentage and a .940 OPS. Very good season for her, playing she's designated hitting today, as she did yesterday as well. Takes a strike on the first pitch. Over first base is Ayla Ray, not slow, but not a situation where you would necessarily steal a base. Although Ava McKee has not played catcher in a while, maybe you test her arm. Not a high stolen base team. Only 18 attempts this season, but 17 stolen successfully. So they choose their spots well, and they get over safely. 1-1 count for Krafchick to Wilkerson. Runner on first base, 2 outs in the top of the first inning. The 1-1 is high. McKee fumbles it a little bit, and Ayla Ray will take second base easily. So 2-1 count. Runner advances to second and is in scoring position for Lydia Wilkerson. Wilkerson 7 for 8 yesterday with 4 runs scored, only 3 left on base and a walk as well. One of the most productive players for the Penguins. Ground ball to shortstop. Addie Martin picks it up, throws it over to first base, and that'll retire the inning for Bowling Green. They'll head to the bottom of the first inning and take up the bats on a ground ball to the shortstop. 3 ground balls from Mackenzie Krafchick in the top of the first. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Wake up and get going with the music you know and love on Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Early Bird Oldies broadcasts weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. and plays all the tunes you remember. Find WBGU on the bottom of the dial on 88.1 FM or streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Early Bird Oldies will put a smile on your face and make you tap your feet. And it's only on WBGU Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Falcons bat in the bottom of the first inning after 3 ground balls on 4 batters for Mackenzie Krafchick in the top for Bowling Green. Very good first inning, and now the Falcons look to get on the board. They'll start with Katie Hutter, Addie Martin, and Taylor Barrett, who's been the top 3 for Bowling Green for the last 7 or 8 games now. Katie Hutter has struggled a little bit in the 1 hole. Was not pinch hit for in the last game, but was pulled off of first base in favor of Hannah Massaro. Last 5 games started for Katie Hutter. Only 1 for 14. 3 walks, though. Has a very good on-base percentage. Decently fast. An RBI, 4 runs scored, a double, and 6 strikeouts for Katie Hutter. That's in her last 14 at-bats. Only 1 for, so still looking for her first hit. Only had 1 against Kent State, and that was a double. Had a couple of walks, though. Was very good at getting on base. Decently fast as well, so a good leadoff hitter. You want to get on base for Addie Martin, batting the 2-hole, considering D1 Softball's National Freshman of the Week. For her performance last week has been outstanding the last couple of games. 1-1 from Kelsey Ogan. Ogan, a freshman. Her first year has been the best registered pitcher for Youngstown State as well. 4.3 ERA. Lofted in the air to right field. It'll fall down for a hit. Katie Hutter gets back in the hit column as she takes first base and brings up the most dangerous hitter in the Bowling Green lineup, Addie Martin. It's a good single for Katie Hutter. Not the best hit ball, but just lofted it over the second baseman's head. Got it in the air and found some green. Get some confidence back, and now the orange and brown will bring up most dangerous hitter last week, one of the most dangerous hitters in the NCAA. It's a fresh count. Kelsey Ogun deals up and away to Martin. 1-0 count. Hutter on first base. Probably not going to try and steal, as Martin, pretty good chance of getting Hutter in from first base, no matter what she does. Does play a little bit of small ball as well, and with a couple of good hitters behind her, and Barrett and Hunt takes a second pitch low, so 2-0, and a hitter's count now for Addie Martin. Ogun gets the sign. Katie Hutter at first base. No outs in the bottom of the first inning. Low and in again. 3-0. It looks like Ogun wants nothing to do with Addie Martin, and you can't really blame her considering the streak that Addie Martin has been on. D1 Softball National Freshman of the Week this past week in her efforts against Green Bay and Kent State. 6-game hit streak, starting from the second game against Buffalo and gone on. And low, and she'll take first base on a 4-pitch walk. So Ogun clearly wanted nothing to do with Addie Martin, put her on first base, and now gets to pitch to Taylor Barrett. Barrett more of a contact hitter for Bowling Green on a decent hit streak herself. 363 batting average, 29 hits, only 3 of them for extra bases. She's got a decent amount of RBIs as well with 16. That's third on the team behind only Martin and Hunt, who sit at 20. 16 walks as well, to only 13 strikeouts. 864 OPS this season for Taylor Barrett. Very good at getting runners in. Batting in the 3-hole, has a lot of opportunities. Now with Hutter on second base and Martin on first. Makes another pitch low. So 1-0 count for Ogun, who struggled to get ahead in counts. She does the same against Taylor Barrett, the third baseman. Another player affected by Cam Kaufman not being in the lineup. Kaufman normally the shortstop. And Barrett normally played first base until Kaufman got hurt. Martin had to move over to short. Barrett had to move over to third. And there we go. Ogun delivers a strike on the outside edge. 1-1. It's her first strike in 5 pitches. Barrett, a 4-game walk streak. And eight games in a row she's reached safely. Against Kent State, 3 for 8. 4 walks, 4 RBIs, and 5 runs scored for Barrett against the Golden Flashes. Puts a bunt down, and it's going to be a fair ball. It looked like it was touched by the catcher, Dean. It's going to be bases loaded on a bunt. That was a very weird play. Like Dean maybe knocked it into fair play and then wasn't able to play it. Barrett gets first base. We'll see what the scorer's decision is. That'll bring up Hannah Hunt. Hannah Hunt with a lot of power, has 2 runners technically in scoring position, 3 runners on bags with no outs in the first inning. Probably trying to get it in the air if possible. I get the run in. Hutter is fast enough to score on a fly ball to the outfield. Launched in the air to right field, tracking all the way in and not being able to make the play is Ashlyn Bishop in right field for the Penguins. So it'll just be a long strike for Hannah Hunt. Hannah Hunt, 5-game hitting streak from the Green Bay game till now. Her last 5 games played, 6 for 16, 3 RBIs, 2 runs, 2 doubles, and 3 walks. Has a couple of RBIs waiting for her right now. An 0-1 count from Ogun is left high by Hunt. Ogun's having a tough time finding the zone. Now runners at every base, bases loaded. No outs still for Ogun, searching for her first. Good outing yesterday for Ogun. There's another ball, 2-1. Ogun had 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 total runs, and all 3 earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts against Niagara yesterday. Got the win as well. It's her 3rd win of the season. Now the 2-1 to Hunt. Fly out to right field. Ashlyn Bishop is tracking under it in foul territory. Almost mirror play to last time. This one on the other side of the fence, and no play can be made. Another long strike for Hannah Hunt. Clearly trying to lift the ball into the outfield. Good situational hitting by Gardner and the Falcons. Katie Hutter waiting to tag. At third base, Addie Martin probably could advance if it's to right field and get another runner couple feet closer to home. 2-2 from Ogun is left high, full count, with nowhere to put the runner. Kelsey Ogun put herself in a little bit of a jam. Needs her best pitch now to get out Hannah Hunt, bring up Peyton Steffes, who has another hot bat. Can't get too deep into the lineup before you get to the hitters that you can get out. Now, deep fly ball out to right field, playable for Bishop. Hutter will head home. They'll split the runners. Martin at third now. Hutter scores, and a sacrifice fly for Hannah Hunt, who will get an RBI and a run in. Hutter gets a run scored as well on her single. Good to see her back and getting some offense going. Martin, as I said, advances. First and third for Bowling Green with one out. Double play is in order, but Peyton Steffes is a fast runner as she'll step up to the plate. Steffes snapped a 7-game hit streak against Kent State. That was from the first Buffalo game through the second Kent State game and did not get a hit in the third Kent State game. Got a couple of runs scored, though. First pitch from Ogun. Throw down to second base on the double steal. Safe at second. Taking home is Addie Martin. It's going to be a free run for Bowling Green on a stolen base by Taylor Barrett. Odd play by Youngstown State. Just didn't look like the coaching staff talked to them enough before. It was a clear throw down by Dean. Didn't even hesitate. And didn't get either runner. So 2-0. Bowling Green leads with 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Taylor Barrett sits at second base after the stolen base. 1 out on the sacrifice fly by Hannah Hunt to get in Katie Hutter. Now it's Peyton Steffes. Takes the second strike of the at-bat, 0-2. First one taken on the stolen base. Steffes, as I said, snapped her 7-game hit streak, but in her last 8 games played, 14 for 28 and a .500 batting average, a couple of walks, 9 RBIs, and 10 runs scored. Impressive player. Swings at a high fastball and fouls it back to the screen. Kelsey Ogun not able to work her way out of too much of a jam, but still has 2 more opportunities to try and get out. Steffes, McKee, then Davis. Delaney Davis, one of the hotter bats in the lineup, although batting 7th today. Peyton Steffes maybe the second hottest bat in the lineup behind Addie Martin. Martin, who walked in the first inning, scored a run. Pitch on the outside edge, 1-2 the count. A wasted pitch from Ogun. A little bit of movement going on in the Youngstown State bullpen. Ogun delivers on the 1-2 to Steffes, and she fouls it back into the screen. She's on the pitch just a little bit below. It's going right back behind Steffes, the catcher and the umpire. Left-handed hitter. Can try and shoot it over into that second first base gap and try and get a run in with a single, although if she pulls it, probably will advance a runner with 2 outs if she gets the ground out. Not the worst thing in the world if you're a Falcons to advance the runner. Fly ball out in the air to right field. This one will fall down for a single, and Barrett lost a step thinking it was going to be caught, so she'll only stay at third base. Peyton Steffes with a single. She'll take first and third, and more split runners for Youngstown State to try and work out of, and Ava McKee will step up to the plate. McKee wears number 88. The next highest number on the team is 34 for Scarlett Anderson. Last 8 games played, 4 for 21, 4 RBIs, 3 runs, 3 walks as well. Gets a decent amount of walks, good play discipline, but had a game-tying 2-run hit in the comeback versus Kent State in the second game that they played against the Golden Flashes. Similar situation to this on her 2-run hit, second and third. Takes the first pitch fastball, and there's a stolen base or catcher's indifference, however you want to put it. Steffes will take second. Should be 2 stolen bases in the inning for Bowling Green. Addie Martin will also get credit for her stolen bases. She took home, so 3 stolen bases. That one framed just barely outside. 1-1 the count. It was quite close. Kelsey Ogun, as I mentioned, 4.38 ERA this season. 41 strikeouts to 26 walks. Already has 1 walk today. No strikeouts yet. McKee takes it high. 2-1 the count. Back up to even. 1 out. Runner on second and third. A hit probably gets in 2. Peyton Steffes, a very fast runner at second base. You got McKee, and then Davis on deck. Hannah Massaro in the hole. Mackenzie Krafchick actually walking to the bullpen or looking to play some catches. This has been a long inning. Drive out to left field. Diving play by Littler, but she can't make it. That'll get in 2 runs as Steffes gets waved home. Barrett and Steffes will score easily, and it's going to be a double for Ava McKee. That gives the Falcons a 4-0 lead. What a tough play for Littler out there in left field. Made a great diving play on it, and a good backup by the center fielder, Bree Kohler. But it got in 2 nonetheless. Ava McKee continues a hot streak, getting that bat going. That'll bring up Delaney Davis, who's got another hot bat. Delaney Davis, 6 for her last 7, 4 RBIs, a run, and a game-winning double against Kent State after Ava McKee 2-run game-tying hit. 1 for 15 prior to the 3rd game against Buffalo. Currently riding a 3-game hit streak as well. Dean will walk out to talk to Ogun. The battery's done discussing, and will pitch to the lefty. Davis Massaro Matthews. Long first inning already for Kelsey Ogun. Can't imagine she would come out in the second. 1 out. Runner on second. Left fielder at the plate. Shows bunt. Gets it down toward first base. The second baseman fields as she was pinching way in. And they'll get the out at first, but Delaney Davis advanced the runner. And it'll bring up Hannah Massaro and a runner on third base and Ava McKee. Interesting call there from Gardner. But high fives Ava McKee, who got their 2-run double a second ago. Now advanced to third base, looking to get a run scored as well. Has only scored 2 runs this season. Massaro takes a strike on the outside. Pretty close pitch and a good one from Ogun. Been looking away from batters a lot. The last bunt from Delaney Davis, an outside pitch. A couple of pitches before outside. 4-0 Bowling Green on 4 runs in the first. The 0-1 count from Ogun. Right over the middle for strike 2. Behind in the count, Hannah Massaro, who has struggled at the plate. Even Gardner said that after the second Kent State game, that Delaney Davis pinch hit for Hannah Massaro in the 5th inning. Got a hit and then got the game-winning hit as well. 0-2 now for Hannah Massaro with a runner on third. Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Ogun. Hannah Massaro only 185 this season, just ahead of Kendall Matthews and Ashley Chevalier, who are also registered batters for Bowling Green, compared to Delaney Davis's 318. Now, granted, the at-bats are quite different. And a strikeout looking to Hannah Massaro on the outside. Looked a little bit away, not far enough for the umpire to not ring up. Strikeout looking for Massaro to end the inning, but not before Bowling Green gets 4 runs in the bottom. We head back to the top, and Mackenzie Krafchick to come back out into the circle. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
If you're already awake between 4 and 6 a.m., you may as well have a good time. Check out Early Bird Oldies, playing all the hit music of a different generation on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU. Don't forget to listen to the morning show immediately following Early Bird Oldies every weekday right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Impressive start for the Falcons. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 1 runner left on base in the bottom of the first inning. We head back to the top in the second inning. It'll bring up Alyssa Imler, Kennedy Dean, and Ashlyn Bishop for Youngstown State as they try their hand at the bats against Mackenzie Krafchick. Krafchick had 3 ground balls in the first inning, gave up a single in there as well between the first and second baseman. And 0 for 1 is the count now early for Krafchick. Harped on it a lot, getting ahead in counts. But Krafchick did so well in the first, and instigated a lot of ground balls and a lot of weak contact. Now paints one on the outside black again. Not too much negative you could say about the way Mackenzie Kravchuk has gone. A week ago, we'd be talking about how Scarlett Anderson has been the arm for the Falcons, and now they're within 40 of each other, .40, I should say, in ERA. And after this game, Kravchuk could come out on top. Fly ball into right field. Hunt just over her head. Steffes will left the field. It'll be a single for Alyssa Imler, who takes first base to lead off the top of the second inning. Bringing up Kennedy Dean, the catcher, who had this bottom of the lineup had a heck of a day yesterday. Ashlyn Bishop not so much, batting 7th, but Kennedy Dean batting 6th, and Cami Diaz batting 8th had heck of games yesterday. Get to Diaz in a minute. Kennedy Dean was 5 for 8 with 7 RBIs and 4 runs scored yesterday against Niagara. Foul ball. Ava McKee has to walk it off as she wore it kind of low. 0-1. The count. Kravchuk again ahead. Bloop single a second ago. Not the best hit from Imler, but he got on base. And fifth-year shortstop stands at first. Played second base both games as well yesterday. And Kennedy Dean, the catcher, leaves one 0 away. Out and away, I should say. 1-1. Bowling Green wearing all white. Heard their orange stirrups. Very nice look. Haven't seen it at home yet this season. Youngstown State wearing red jerseys, black pants, black socks. The black buckets. Up and in. 2-1. Now Kravchuk, count back to even. Working with Kennedy Dean. I mean, considering hot streaks, the two batters to look out for. Kennedy Dean, Lydia Wilkerson, and Cami Diaz. Diaz, the third baseman, Wilkerson, the designated hitter. Those are the three in the order you really got to avoid in there. One batter apart, spaced through the bottom. Ground ball to third base, tough play for Barrett. Fields it, throws over to first, but safe at first is the runner, Dean. It's going to be an infield single for Kennedy Dean. Imler advances to second, bringing up Ashlyn Bishop. Bishop struggled a little bit yesterday, 0 for 3, and was pinch hit for twice. She didn't have the greatest game yesterday. Has been pretty solid this season. .232 average. A double is her only extra base hit, and around a .600 OPS. Fouled back to the screen for strike one. Runners on first and second now, with no outs in the first. Beneficial, I suppose. You can look at it on the bright side. Kravchuk has got 3 ground balls on her only 3 outs recorded in this game. So the double play is in order, or at least grabbing the advanced runner. Massaro and Barrett crashing in a little bit. Deep fly ball out to right field. Steffes battling the sun. Will make the catch. No tag. And it was probably a good decision as the throw from Steffes on the money. Martin cuts it off and holds the runners at second and first. That'll be 1 out. Double play can put you out of the inning now. 0 for her last 5 is Ashlyn Bishop on that fly out to the right fielder. Imler, the shortstop, surprised she didn't just go, but a great throw by Steffes, who does have a very good arm. Cami Diaz will step up to the plate as the hottest hitter for Youngstown State. 4 for 6 yesterday with 2 home runs, a couple of doubles, couple of walks, 5 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Takes a strike outside. Very good game yesterday against Niagara. The best of her season. Diaz with the 0-1. Slow bender. Got it to go. Just waist high for Mackenzie Kravchuk, who takes an 0-2 count with the 1 out. Looking to get a little bit of momentum back in the pitcher circle. Diaz only hit of the season was versus Furman coming into yesterday. Then has a heck of a game. Ground ball to shortstop. Addie Martin flips it over to third and gets the force out there. Runners at first and third with 2 outs now. Ball was ripped pretty hard up to shortstop, but a fielder's choice for Cami Diaz, who reaches first base.
Now batting here is the first baseman.
That'll bring up first baseman Taylor Turin. Turin, decent day yesterday. 4 for 7. Against Niagara, 3 for 4 in the second game, 2 RBIs, a double, and a stolen base. Beautiful pitch on the outside and good frame by McKee to buy the first strike, 0-1, with 2 outs and a force at all 3 bags. First inning was 1-2, then a single, and then the third out to the fourth batter, Lydia Wilkerson. Swing and a miss on the changeup there by Kravchik. 0-2 now with 2 outs. Kravchik looking to get out of the inning with no damage done. First and second with no outs. And then 2 quick outs on a fly ball to right field and a fielder's choice. Good play by D1 softball National Freshman of the Week, Addie Martin. Pretty prestigious award, the first award given to a Falcon this season. Also her and Kravchik given the MAC Awards for Player of the Week and Pitcher of the Week, a clean sweep for the Falcons in that regard. As we mentioned, Kravchik was wonderful last week. 1-2 pitch, fly out into right field. Peyton Steffes will track it down, and it'll fall fair. A run will score, and that'll be first run of the game for Youngstown State, as it looked like it hung in there for a while, but Steffes saw it catch a little bit too much wind, and it dropped down, so it'll be a single for Trurin. Advance a runner to second base. Kennedy Dean will score. And bring up the top of the order again for Youngstown State and Macy Littler. So first and second, the first run scored of the game takes away the shutout for Kravchik. And this one lined into left field, fielded by Davis, holds the runner at third base. Now bases loaded for Kravchik as Trurin advances to second. Diaz advances to third. And Macy Littler gets a single. Still 2 outs. So the opportunity to get out with no run scored and a 4-1 lead. But Bree Kohler will step up to the plate, grounded out to the third baseman, and her first at-bat, redshirt junior, playing center field today. Bases loaded. Kravchik paints the outside. Beautiful pitch on the fastball, 0-1. Kohler in her 3 games against University of Detroit Mercy 2 series ago, as this pitch is out and away. Kohler went 3 for 10, 2 doubles, a run, an RBI, and a walk. Yesterday against Niagara, 4 for 7, 3 walks, a couple of runs scored, and a couple of left on base as well. Kravchik, the changeup, leaves it high, 2-1 with 2 outs now. Trying to get another ground ball as she got in the first inning. Defense for Bowling Green been a little bit spotty. 8 errors in the second and the third game versus Kent State, although they had been great all series up until that point and all week, in fairness. Kravchik, beautiful fastball, puts it low about knee high. 2-2 with 2 outs in the bottom or the top of the second inning. 2 early runners on with no outs, 2 straight outs, and then a couple of singles in a row. Get a run in and bases loaded. Kravchik low and away. Good stop by Ava McKee to keep their runner at third. Diaz at third, Trurin at second, and Littler at first. Trurin and Littler back-to-back singles. 4 hits in the inning for the Penguins. This one lined out into left field. Delaney Davis is there. She'll make an easy catch to put away the inning. 4-1, Bowling Green leads after Youngstown State gets 1 run back. We'll head into the bottom, and the bat's in the hands of the Falcons. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
On November 15th, 2024, BGSU Hockey defeated St. Thomas in a shootout, courtesy of a game winner by defenseman Jack Blake. Falcon Media Sports Network's voice of Falcon hockey, Ben Korak, had the call of the moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And Jack Blake, for all the glory, trying to put this one away with the puck, taking it around, far side wheel, working in with the shot, and he fills it! Jack Blake with the shootout winner! First time in the lineup this season, and Jack Blake is the hero as Bowling Green mobs him.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Kendall Matthews will lead off in the bottom of the second inning for Bowling Green as they have a 4-1 lead over Youngstown State. 4 runs in the first inning for Bowling Green on 4 hits and a walk. Only 1 runner left on base. Pretty efficient. Strikeout looking end of the inning by Hannah Massaro. Kendall Matthews will lead off bottom of the order. Really need to get her bat going as the last couple of games. Great potential for her in her career with Lakeland College. Very good hitter. Above 1,000 OPS both of her seasons that she played there. Now struggling a little bit at the plate with Bowling Green, but still a good center fielder.
Center fielder number 19, Kendall Matthews.
Kelsey Ogun is back out for Youngstown State after a rough first inning. Still one of the better pitchers on the team for Youngstown State. One of the better options. We'll leave her and see if she can settle herself down a little bit. First pitch strike. Painted the black outside. Kendall Matthews standing in the right-hand batter's box. Ogun, pretty simple delivery, is fouled right back by Kendall Matthews. Again, like a lot of Falcons, it was on the pitch, but just a little bit below it. 0-2. The count at the bottom of the second inning with no outs, and the leadoff batter, Kendall Matthews. Katie Hutter and Addie Martin are guaranteed to reach the plate in this inning. Hutter had a single and a run scored in the first. Addie Martin had a walk and a stolen base for a run scored in the first. Next pitch is a ball outside, 1-2 to Kendall Matthews. Ogun with the 1-2, leaves it low, so Matthews will be back to a little bit more even count here, 2-2, a workable count especially. Matthews hitless in her last 5 games played, 3 hits in the last 12 games played for Kendall Matthews. 3 for 27 during those last 12. Up and away. Full count now for Ogun, who's reached a couple of full counts. 9 walks, though, in the last 12 games played for Kendall Matthews. And with her 3 hits, makes the on-base percentage not too bad, but 3 for 27. Really need to get her bat going at the bottom of the lineup. The payoff pitch from Ogun, fouled out of play by Kendall Matthews. Right back again on the pitch. Just Gardner talks a lot about keeping the bat small and swinging small. She and Addie Martin have probably some of the best power on the team. And you don't necessarily have to swing for it, as Gardner has told Addie Martin all season. Full count payoff pitch again from Kelsey Ogun. Line drive over to shortstop, and it gets through the shortstop Imler and this third baseman Diaz. It'll be a single and breaking the hitless streak for Kendall Matthews. She'll reach first base and be on base for the top of the order to come back up. Katie Hutter got her first hit and in a couple of games. 5-game hit streak that she had earlier in the season against Coastal Carolina from March 3rd to Indiana on March 8th. Last 5 games, only 1 for 14. She's 2 for 15 now in the last 6 games played, including this one. Single and a run scored in the first inning. Got a runner on first now. Shows bunt. Gets it down the third base line. Fielding it is Diaz. Throw to first base. And Hutter is safe. Just beats it out at first. Surprised Diaz didn't let it go down the third base line and hope it rolled foul. But she kept it in and tried to make the play. That'll be back-to-back singles for the Falcons as Matthews sits on second base. Hutter at first, bringing up Addie Martin, the MAC Player of the Week, D1 Softball National Freshman of the Week.
For the Falcons, here's shortstop number 0.
One of the hottest hitters in the MAC, if not the. 6-game hitting streak. In her last 6 games, 12 for 22, 5 RBIs, 9 runs, a double, triple, 3 home runs, and 3 stolen bases. Does it all. True 5-tool player, playing out of position as well at shortstop. Doing a pretty good job there. Thanks to first pitch, out and away. Walked on 4 pitches in the first at-bat. Took second base, took third base, and then scored on a stolen base. On a double steal between her and Taylor Barrett. Swing and a miss. First strike of the day against Martin. Stands tall in the box. One of the players that Gardner says needs to swing a little bit smaller. She'll get the power no matter what. First game against Green Bay, her first swing of the game came a home run with left center field fence. Shows bunt, takes inside. A good decision by Addie Martin to pull back. 2-1. The count to Martin. Back up to even. They check her swing, but no go, says Gardner, who I'm sure liked that call. Eddie Martin made a good play to pull back. First and second with no outs. Back-to-back singles by the Falcons. The 2-1 from Ogun in the circle. Pop fly high into center field. Kohler circles under it. Bree Kohler will make the catch. Fake tag by Kendall Matthews. She would have been hosed if she had gone, so a smart decision. But a fly out to center field by Addie Martin. Gave it a ride, but not far enough. We'll bring up Taylor Barrett with Hannah Hunt on deck. Still with a runner in scoring position and a runner on first as well. First out of the inning for Kelsey Ogun. Taylor Barrett, the third baseman, steps up. Pretty good streak for her as well. On-base streak. She is a good contact hitter and very high on-base percentage. Up and away to Barrett. Barrett's on-base percentage nearing 500. 464, the highest on the team for the Falcons. 16 walks, only 13 strikeouts, and 29 hits. Not the most total bases, but one of the highest amounts of reached bases. Slashes it foul down the right field line. 1-1, the first strike to her. It's top of the order for Bowling Green. Quite dangerous, and especially when you turn it around with Kendall Matthews in the bottom, getting a single. Hutter, Martin, Barrett, Hunt, and Steffes. All very good hitters. Top of the order for Bowling Green. A gauntlet for other teams and other pitchers to get through. This one is pop flied out and foul. Right over to student manager. It looked like he couldn't make the play. He's got two softballs out there to retrieve off of Barrett. So she's got a 1-2 count and is going to have to get a little bit defensive with the way that she swings. Still a runner in scoring position. Matthews is not slow. Can score from second base on a single, especially to right field. Maybe Barrett looking to take it the opposite way. Looks like Dean's going to walk out and discuss some things with her pitcher. Maybe try and get her settled down a little bit. You'll see Ogun. Her last 7 appearances, 2-2, 29 innings pitched, 25 hits, but only 12 earned runs, 26 strikeouts, 17 walks, a very good strikeout-to-walk ratio. Against Furman on March 8th, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 5 walks. That was her best outing of the last couple on March 8th. It was earlier last week. Very good game yesterday against Niagara. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. Enough to get the win. Only 3 earned runs. You score 11. It's very easy to get the win. You would expect to. You score 11. That's what Ogun had yesterday. But gives up 4 in the first inning today. Now as the Falcons threatening in the bottom of the second inning. 4-1 Bowling Green. 1 out in the bottom of the second. 1-2 count to Taylor Barrett after back-to-back singles and then a fly ball to center field by Addie Martin. Barrett launches this one out to left field over the head of the left fielder Littler. This will get a run in. Kendall Matthews rounding third and heading home with no throw. Now Katie Hutter doing the same. She'll be up, stand up safely. And Taylor Barrett with a bases clearing double gives the Falcons a 6-1 lead. Heck of a rip by Taylor Barrett. Got all barrel on it and put it over the head of Littler. Wind blowing directly in at where she hit that ball too. Probably didn't have a chance to get out, but maybe off the fence and would have been at least extra bases no matter what happened. Still a runner in scoring position. Barrett on second base and Hannah Hunt up to bat. Had an RBI in her first inning with her sac fly. First pitch low and away to Hannah Hunt. Peyton Steffes waiting on deck. Ava McKee in the hole. McKee had a 2 RBI double in the first inning. Third game in a row that a couple of Falcons have batted in the first and the second. Fly ball out to right field, and it'll be a tag by Taylor Barrett who will advance, but a fly out for Hannah Hunt. 2 flyouts in this game. One that got a run in, the other one that advanced the runner. It'll be an F9 for Hannah Hunt, and bring up Peyton Steffes. Steffes with a single and a stolen base and a run scored in the first inning. Already a productive game for her. Steffes, last 8 games, batting .500, 9 RBIs, 10 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. All-around good player, plays very good right field as well, and has a very good arm, which you need out there in right field, especially when throwing to third base at home. First pitch away. Ogun trying to get around the corners, but missing by inches at times. 1-0. The count to Steffes, batting in the lefty side of the box. Had a pretty good at bat the last time. Got a head early and then got a real nice single. Advance a couple of runners. Fly out to right field. Deep fly ball. Tracking is Ashlyn Bishop. Bishop backtracking toward the warning track, but makes the catch. Took the long way around, or a little bit of a weird route to it, but she got the ball. Ends the second inning for complete, but 2 more runs for the Falcons. 6-1 now. They lead after 2 full innings of play. Top of the third, Mackenzie Krafczyk will take the circle again. Listen to BGSU softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
'Falcon baseball wraps up their homestand against Youngstown State on Tuesday, March 25th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Sam Morris will have the call starting at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Two runs on 3 hits, 1 runner left on base in the bottom of the second inning for Bowling Green. They now lead 6-1 over the Penguins of Youngstown State as we head to the top of the third. Ayla Ray, Lydia Wilkerson, and Alyssa Imler to lead off for the Penguins. Ayla Ray had a bloop single in the first inning over the head of Hannah Hunt. Did not score as the very next batter, Lydia Wilkerson, grounded out to the shortstop. 1 run on 4 hits and 3 left on base. In the last inning, Mackenzie Krafczyk did a decent job of working out of trouble, got herself into a little bit, and goes up against a pretty hard part of the order as well. Youngstown State with a lot of talent spread out throughout this order. A lot of very hot bats as well, especially after the Niagara game yesterday. Ayla Ray with a 1-0 count takes another ball low, 2-0 for Krafczyk. Lydia Wilkerson, very threatening bat. Kennedy Dean had a great game yesterday, a great 2 games yesterday against Niagara. Cami Diaz with another player that had great games yesterday against Niagara. Out and away, 3-0 count for Krafczyk, who's risking losing her first runner, or her first batter, Ayla Ray. Not as clean pitching as she was last week against Green Bay and Kent State. Still earned MAC Pitcher of the Week. There's another one on the outside edge, just a little bit away. Laces outside. It'll put the leadoff runner on a walk, bring up Lydia Wilkerson. Wilkerson, a ground ball to shortstop to end the first inning. Comes up now in the third, top of the third inning, 6-1 Bowling Green. No outs. Infield playing decent deep. Looks like no bunt threat. And the first pitch strike takes a little bit of that away from Wilkerson. Wilkerson, the designated hitter. .390 batting average, a highest registered hitter for Youngstown State. 39 hits, 3 doubles, 3 home runs. Decent amount of power as well with an over 500 slugging percentage. Second pitch strike from Krafczyk up to 0-2 now. So I'll have to get a hit to advance the runner. Lydia Wilkerson in the box, the righty. Krafczyk delivers. Line up back to Krafczyk. She'll knock it down, but everybody's going to be safe. Unfortunate play as Krafczyk made a good play just to get a hand on it and keep it out of the outfield. It's going to be a hit for Wilkerson, and it's going to be a runner at first and second, just like last inning with Krafczyk putting on Imler and Dean. She puts on Ray and Wilkerson. That'll bring up Alyssa Imler, the shortstop and the 5th year Deals the first pitch. Beautiful strike. Low and away, about knee high to Imler. 0-1. 3 games against UOD Mercy, 4 for 12 and a run for Imler. Last extra base hit was 6 games ago on March 14th. Been a long time. Ground ball over to third base, but foul. Barrett was ready for the play. 0-2 now, and again, ahead in the count for Kraftic. Last one resulted in a single up the middle that she knocked down before it got to the outfield, but still no play. Now she got an 0-2 count, so defensive swinging for Imler. Imler had a single and was thrown out trying for third base on a fielder's choice in the second inning. His third pitch away for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Kraftic. Kraftic gets the sign from Ava McKee behind the plate today. Hashi Chevalier, good defensive catcher, but not too great at the plate. Foul ball off of herself. Alyssa Imler, the good swing at a pitch that was low. So Kraftic fooled her on 1. A little bit of work going on in the bullpen for Bowling Green. Morgan Beckham and Scarlett Anderson have been very good the last couple of games. Both available, although there's 2 games to play today. A couple more this weekend. Change up, popped up to the first baseman, Hannah Massaro, who put it away. It's a very good first out for Kraftic as the double play, again, will put you out of the inning. Kennedy Dean will step up, the hottest hitter on Youngstown State. Very good game yesterday against Niagara, or games, I should say. Dean was 5 for 8 with a ton of RBIs, 7 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. 3 doubles and a home run yesterday against Niagara. Saw a second ago the pop out to Hannah Massaro. The infield has been moved around a lot and will probably go back to normal when Cam Kaufman is back available. But until then, Martin at short, Barrett at third base, Hannah Hunt at second, and Massaro at first. Good stop by Ava McKee on the pitch low, so 1-1. Sorry, we just saw field a pop-up. She's a very good fielder in high school before she got to Bowling Green. Also 2023 Ohio first team, All-Ohio first team, 2022 state champion and 2021 state runner-up. In her freshman and sophomore seasons was a nominee for shortstop of the year and outfielder of the year, both in Ohio in 2023 and 2024, playing both in the outfield and shortstop. 2-1 the count. Kraftic delivers. Ground ball to second base. Hannah Hunt flips it over to shortstop to Martin. Martin tries to twist it, but she's safe at first base. Kennedy Dean got down the baseline pretty well there. The runner, Ayla Ray, will advance to third base. Wilkerson is thrown out, trying for second. Kennedy Dean will be at first on the fielder's choice. So 2 outs now with runners at the corners. I'll bring up Ashlyn Bishop, who struggled, though, for her last 6. Batting lefty. Last time she was up, a fly out to the right fielder. Decently deep, but not too much. A pretty good fly out. Kemi Diaz waiting on deck. Don't want to have to get to her. This fly ball out into left field. Delaney Davis is under it. Makes the catch. Puts away the inning for Bowling Green. The Penguins threaten but don't score. 1 run for them in the second inning. 4 runs for Bowling Green in the first. 2 runs for them in the second. They'll look to put some more in the bottom of the third. 6-1 lead for Bowling Green over Youngstown State on WBGU 88.1 FM.
All right.
You can be an essential part of the morning show's continued success on WBGU FM. The Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce offers businesses and organizations an opportunity to be an underwriter. Under the umbrella of the Chamber, you'll receive your mentions each month during either news and sports programming or feature segments. It's an affordable opportunity to be part of something unique in Wood County.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ava McKee will lead off for Bowling Green in the bottom of the third inning. The catcher, not necessarily the one that you want leading off an inning, but did have a 2 RBI double in the first inning. She advanced to third base, but was stranded there. Delaney Davis, who had a sac fly and an RBI in the first, also and on deck, and Hannah Massaro in the hole with Kendall Matthews to come up after that. He steps up to the plate. Ogun still pitching for Youngstown State, delivers a fastball just high. A little bit confused with the pitch. Was a little bit as well. Looked close. Around waist high. Ava McKee. Again, as her bats picked up a little bit the last couple of games since that game-tying double in the second game against Kent State. 2 games ago now. Set up the Delaney Davis walk-off. Since then, she's been pretty strong. 4 for 21 in her last 8 games played, 4 RBIs, 2 runs, and 3 walks coming into today. Hit versus KSU hopefully sparks something in her. Pretty good catching so far in this game as well as she takes the strike. And the bottom left corner of the zone, 1 ball, 2 strikes with no outs. And the leadoff hitter for Bowling Green in the bottom of the third. Add some more run support to Mackenzie Kraftsick. 2 wins last week for her. Looking to add another today. 3-5 on the season. Pop fly out to second baseman and right fielder. It'll be Ashlyn Bishop, the right fielder, who fields it in foul territory as Elena Ray peels off. 1 out for Bowling Green in the bottom of the third. Bringing up Delaney Davis with no runners on. A rare situation for her to be up to bat with no runners on, but she's been very good in that aspect of the game with runners on. 4 RBIs on 7 hits this season. 6 for her last 7 until her sacrifice fly in the first inning. Pops this one up. Unplayable, out of play for the catcher, Dean. Ranging over to try and make it. Kennedy Dean, the catcher. He's a fielding catcher as well. Although the Falcons stole 3 bases in the first inning, 2 at second base, 1 is Addie Martin stealing home. Looked like miscommunication from Youngstown more than anything on the double steal. Taylor Barrett took second. Addie Martin, who was on third, took home. 0-1 now for Ogun, who pitches to Delaney Davis, and it's rolled up into the plate. Skips into Dean for ball 1, 1-1. 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 left on base for Bowling Green in the second inning. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 1 left on base in the first inning. Quick out in this on Ava McKee's fly out to the right fielder. Oh, inside, and it caught a piece of Delaney Davis. She'll take first base on a hit by pitch just barely as she was crowding the plate. That'll be a runner on for Hannah Massaro, who struck out looking in first and has struggled at the plate. Even Coach Gardner has admitted that. Out of registered hitters and starters in this game, she's got the lowest batting average, second lowest batting average, Ava McKee at 154, Hannah Massaro at 185. Started quite strong, but has gone downhill a little bit in the last couple of games. Massaro hitless, and her last 3 games started. Does not include the third Kent State game. Happened on Saturday of last week. Outfield shifts around just a little bit. 1 out, runner on first base. Massaro does what she always does and shows bunt high and pulls it back for all the slash. There's a lot to third base as well. A pull hitter. Ogun's pitching her inside. Maybe trying to take advantage of a little bit of extra motion and Massaro's swing. 1-0 pitch from Ogun is slapped out into left field, high in the air, playable by Littler. Littler puts it away. Delaney Davis will have to retreat back to first. It's 2 fly balls in this inning for Bowling Green with a runner on first. And that'll bring up Kendall Matthews, who had a single in the second inning. Mentioned how she needs to get her bat going. A nice patient at bat that she always has. 9 walks in the last 8 games for Kendall Matthews. 9 walks in the last 12 games for her. 12 times total reaching base. 1 home run and 6 runs. A good amount of power. This one's launched high in the air, down and way out of play on the left field line. Barely swung at the pitch, too, and gave it a high ride, but still a ride. 0-1, 2 outs, runner on first base. Delaney Davis with Kendall Matthews at the plate, and then top of the order waiting on deck for Bowling Green and Katie Hutter. Matthews takes one way outside. Delaney Davis looking to steal, and she'll be in safely. Fourth stolen base of the game for Bowling Green as they have a runner in scoring position off that. We're going to have to dissect how Youngstown State is attacking the base running game. Brian Campbell in his 17th season coaching Youngstown State, a Tiffin football player after graduating. She has won 29 games per year from 2014 to 2024. As there's a swing and a miss to Kendall Matthews, 1-2 the count. Brian Campbell, Tiffin Athletics Hall of Famer, 285 wins as the head softball coach at Tiffin. He's coached Youngstown State since 2008. Here's the 1-2 from Ogun. Oh, wow. Don't know where that missed. Maybe low, but it's a ball to Kendall Matthews, who took confidently. A little bit close. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. Runner on second. Delaney Davis, quite fast. Probably will score on a single. 2024 Horizon Coach of the Year, Brian Campbell, as well, in the 17th season with the Penguins. High fly ball out to left field. Littler tracking all the way in. Makes a basket catch. Ranging toward third base. Had a long run at the ball. Puts away the inning for the Falcons. No runs scored in the third inning. The first inning that we could say that this game. 6-1 Bowling Green leads heading into the top of the fourth. Kravtsik will take the mound again. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You could listen to WBGU 88.1 FM, or you could be part of the action. Volunteer with WBGU FM in a variety of roles, including on-air, promotions, social media, music selection, and more. For more information, visit the WBGU Facebook page. Volunteer with Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM, the return to radio freedom. WBGU-FM is Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Tune in daily for local programming that includes The Morning Show, oldies, indie rock, children's music, folk, jazz, world music, and so much more. WBGU is the return to radio freedom. Give us a listen on 88.1 FM or online at bgfalconmedia.com. 88.1 FM WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Freshman Cami Diaz leads off for Youngstown State in the top of the fourth inning. 1 run scored for Youngstown State, and that was in the second inning off of a single by Kennedy Dean and then an RBI single by Taylor Trurin. Now she bats in the top of the fourth inning after the last out. Ashlyn Bishops. Again, there's 2 innings in a row that Youngstown State has threatened early with a runner on first and second and no outs. And there's a leadoff single by Cami Diaz that puts a runner on base again. Mackenzie Kravtsik has struggled with that one hitter. That's 3 innings in a row that she has not been able to get it. That's 3 innings in a row, led off with a on base. And Taylor Trurin will step up to the plate again. A first baseman and a senior, batting behind the freshman. Had a single her last plate appearance in the second inning. There's 1 out, runner on first base, up and away from Kravtsik. Seven hits for both sides, 6 runs scored for Bowling Green. Ground ball to shortstop. Martin flips over to Hunt at second base. Throw over to first for the double play. Got him! 2 outs on 1 play for Bowling Green. The 6-4-3. Falcons retire 2 and get Kravtsik 2 outs before turning it over to the top of the order. What a play by Bowling Green to get 2. Macy Littler will step up to the plate now with no runners on after a promising start with the single by Cami Diaz. Took advantage of 2 little bit slower runners for Youngstown State and now Kraftsick will work with 2 outs and no runners on. Little will swinging bunted over to third base. Barrett with a good play and throws it out to Massaro at first. Quick inning for Bowling Green. Not a 1-2-3, but she gets him on 3 batters. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning with Bowling Green leading 6-1 on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU Softball's Peyton Steffes is this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week. Against Buffalo in the first MAC series of the season, Steffes went 7 for 11 at the plate with 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a stolen base. She also played fantastic right field for Bowling Green, making no errors on her 6 made plays. She has stepped up into a much larger role in 2025 than in 2024, starting 25 games for BG this season compared to 27 games played total last season. Head coach Michelle Gardner has inserted the sophomore into a major role this season and says she challenged Steffes to be better. She was on fire last weekend, and it was awesome to see. This has been your Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week.
No runs in the top of the 4th inning for Youngstown State. We'll flip it over to the bottom and Bowling Green. And stepping up to the plate is the top of the order, Katie Hutter, Addie Martin, and Taylor Barrett. All 3 scored runs in the 1st inning. Katie Hutter, the only that scored a run in the 2nd, although 2 hits on 2 at-bats for Taylor Barrett, 2 hits on 2 at-bats for Katie Hutter. Both had strong games. Hutter really needs to get back to having these strong games all the time as the leadoff hitter for Bowling Green. Still good at getting on base. Just struggled a little bit with the bat. First pitch strike by Olgan. Olgan has settled in quite a bit. 2 runs in the 2nd inning after giving up 4 in the 1st, and then none in the 3rd. So she's got better as the game has gone on. 3 innings pitched, 65 total pitches now. 6 earned runs on 7 hits, strikeout and a walk. Swing and a miss by Hutter. This one's actually fouled back, I believe, into the catcher Dean. 0-2 now to Katie Hutter. We'll have to battle back from a subpar count, I'd say. Does a good job of getting ahead in counts. Has very good at bats. This is shaping up to not be one of them. 0-2 though, asked to defend the plate. Oh, just barely up and away. What a good leave by Katie Hutter. 1-2 now. The plate discipline from this Falcon team has been night and day from last year to this year on the amount of strikeouts to the amount of walks that they've had. Just so impressive at what Coach Gardner's been able to do, both in the pitching staff that we're seeing grow and at the plate as well. Another pitch taken outside. Total strikeouts last year, 222 to 132 walks. A ton of strikeouts to not too many walks for the Falcons. This year, 165 to 92. Still a good amount of strikeouts, but the walk numbers have gone up proportionally. Fouled off by Katie Hutter, who's turning this into a very good at-bat after falling down 0-2 to Ogun. Again, 2 singles and 2 runs scored earlier in the game, in the 1st and the 2nd. Didn't bat in the 3rd. Was 1 batter away from the order being turned over. We have Hutter, Martin on deck, Barrett in the hole. Playing infield, Hutter will foul this off again. Good at bat. Still working to get runs on the board. 6-1. Mackenzie Kraftsick only probably wants as many runs as she can get. Try and get another win. She's set up for it right now. Only 1 run given up through 4 innings of work. She's been the more impressive pitcher of the last couple. This one looks to be a foul ball off the knob of the bat of Katie Hutter. 4 innings pitched, 1 earned run on 7 hits, a walk and no strikeouts for Mackenzie Kraftsick, who's had some good defense behind her as well. No flashy plays like we saw against Kent State, but still some very good ones. Addie Martin, always solid at shortstop. Those 8 errors last week against Kent State. This here's a pitch high, full count to Katie Hutter. Errors last week in the 3rd game against Kent State on Saturday. not too telling of how well the Falcon defense has been all season. Now currently ranked second to last in overall fielding percentage for the MAC, but that one game pretty much skewed all of that, and coming into that game they were around the 5th or 6th mark. Full count, sliced down the left field line, way foul. Katie Hutter, who's turned this into a pretty impressive at-bat. A lot of foul balls after falling down 0-2 and worked her way back to full count. See if she can get a base. Outfield and infield playing pretty straight up, but a big gap up the center. Decently sized gaps in left center and right center as well. Hutter takes a ball high. From 0-2 to a walk, Katie Hutter takes first base, brings up Addie Martin. What an at-bat by Katie Hutter, and an exemplification of how Bowling Green's plate discipline had been this season. Gardner looks very happy with that. And imagine Hutter would be stealing a base with Addie Martin at the plate. Martin with a walk in the first inning, a run and a stolen base, a fly out to the center fielder in the second inning. She's been so impressive the last couple of games. The most impressive player for Bowling Green. First to Mackenzie Krafczyk, and bunts this one beautifully down the line. Hutter will try for third. What a heads-up play by Katie Hutter, and another one by Addie Martin to advance to second base. Heads-up base running by Bowling Green as on a perfect bunt by Addie Martin. Hutter realized that there was nobody at third base and advanced, and Addie Martin, after realizing the heads were down to the Penguins, also advanced. I mean, an infield single for Addie Martin with an advance to second, and Hutter on a bunt from first to third. Now we have 2 runners in scoring position for Taylor Barrett, who already has 2 hits on a double in the second and a single in the first. Has a stolen base and a run scored as well.
For the Falcons, here's third base
and
Taylor Barrett.
2 RBIs as well for her, filling the stat line as she does so often. Batting third today for the Falcons. Hunt on deck, Steffes in the hole. Takes a pitch high. Ogun does have a base to give, but you don't want to, considering you don't have an out yet. 2 runners in scoring position, and Hannah Hunt, arguably a more dangerous power hitter than Taylor Barrett is, and almost better with runners on scoring position as well. Barrett with 2 RBIs today, up to 18 on the season. Hunt with 1 RBI to 21, and 1-1 is the count now from Ogun. Ogun has struggled in this game. I mentioned how she's got better every inning, 4 in runs in the first, 2 in the second, 0 in the third. Now it's looking like she's going to give up a couple. Barrett just has to find some grass, get it to the outfield to get a runner in. Tries to do it, but she ends up popping up to the third baseman, handled by Diaz. It'll be a weak play by Taylor Barrett, who will be retired for the first out, and Hannah Hunt will step up to the plate. 21 RBIs this season, counting today, the second most total bases on the team, behind only Addie Martin. 31 hits is tied for the most on the team. And pretty decent power hitter as well. 511 slugging percentage is just behind Addie Martin, who's above the 750 mark. Impressive, these number 2 and number 4 hitters for Bowling Green, with Hutter being such a good leadoff hitter, Barrett being such a good contact hitter. Hunt takes a ball high. Now Ogun will have to figure out what the deal are on this. Still runner on second and third with 1 out. Foul ball. Hannah Hunt saw a pitch low and inside and tried to reach down for it. Just got a nice quick swing. Good amount of natural power as well. Playing second base. Sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first inning to get in Katie Hutter. And then fly out to the right fielder again. 2 flyouts out to the right fielder. That one with no runners on and no RBI, but it did advance the runner. Single in here for Hannah Hunt as it just falls in front of the left fielder, Littler. Doesn't look like Martin's going to advance. She didn't know if the ball was going to get down, but Hutter will score from third base. It's going to be an RBI single for Hannah Hunt. 7-1. Bowling Green leads. Runner on first and second now with Peyton Steffes coming up. A single and a stolen base in the first inning. A run scored as well. 1 runner left on base. No RBIs yet today. All 3 players surrounding her have 2 RBIs. All 6 runs scored were off of those. 7-1. Bowling Green leads 9 hits to the Penguins 7. Youngstown State only scoring 1 run in the second inning. Just an RBI single a second ago by Hannah Hunt. Steffes takes one over the middle. 1-1 to Steffes. Fell behind and counts a lot. She's at 1-1 right now. See where she goes with the pitch, but especially to the top of the order. She's pitched around, understandably. Steffes fouls it off. It goes off the post and back into play. So Dean will have to grab it. Didn't know what was going on with the ball. Steffes will try to work back from a 1-2 count. One runner on and runners at first and second. Try to keep the ball out of the air if possible and avoid a double play. Hunt's not the fastest member of the team, although Steffes is a very hard runner to throw out at first. Considering how fast she is, the fastest on the team, I'd say, or second fastest behind Reagan Stephanie. School record 47 stolen bases on 47 stolen base attempts in her high school senior year. Littler tracks it down, a fly ball to left field. It'll be an out for Peyton Steffes, and she'll be retired. And Ava McKee will step up to the plate, the runner on first and second. McKee with a 2 RBI double in the first inning. Fly out to the right fielder to lead off the third. Now in her third plate appearance, Davis on deck, Massaro in the hole. She's worked through the order quite well. 4 batters, their slowest inning. No 1-2-3 innings for the Falcons in the last couple of games. Ground ball to third base, and just touching on it is Cami Diaz. Puts away the inning for Youngstown State. The Falcons get a run, up 7-1 now as we flip over to the top of the 5th inning. Youngstown State will take up at bat when you come back in a minute. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Soon after humans began to walk upright, they invented folk music, and folk music was the only music, and it was good. Then came civilization, and rival musical genres arose. Gregorian chant, classical music, jazz, rock and roll, and there was cacophony, but folk music survived, and when the economy and technology collapse and civilization devolves into barbarism, these upstart genres will fall away, and folk music will rise again to its natural dominance. You can prepare yourself now for that inevitable future by tuning in to the Folk Music Show Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Just heard a promo a second ago about the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel for the press conferences. We will have one posted today. Nick Winholtz is shooting film for the Falcon Media Sports Network, and his highlight package will probably be posted the next day or so, maybe a little bit longer, on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. The recap and the preview of all BGSU softball games will be posted on bgfalconmedia.com or the BG_FMSN on Twitter. So there's a first pitch strike from Mackenzie Kraftsick to the batter, Bree Kohler. Kohler 0 for 2 today, playing center field. Made a couple of plays out there, but a ground ball to the third baseman and a line out to Delaney Davis and left her last 2 times up in the first and second inning. That's now in the top of the 5th inning with Youngstown State. Only 3 more innings to try and come back against Bowling Green, and Bowling Green 3 innings away from adding their 5th home win of the season and advancing to 5-1 in that category. Beautiful pitch by Kraftsick, just a little bit low. 2-1 the count from Kraftsick, who has painted the corners like Picasso the last couple of games that she's played. Her last 3 been the best 3 of her season. Earned the pitcher of the week. Ground ball up the middle, and that's a leadoff single for Bree Kohler, who will get her first on base of the game. Ayla Ray will step up, had a 1 for 1 with a walk. No runs scored, though. Lydia Wilkerson played very well yesterday. Arzia hit in this game. She's in the hole. And Alyssa Imler has a single thrown out trying for third and a pop out to the first baseman. And she's in the hole. Wilkerson on deck. Ray up to the plate. Lefty batter. Quite a bit of those in the Youngstown State order. Changeup is high. For ball 1-0. No out. Runner on first base. Still, the leadoff batter has been a tough one for Mackenzie Kraftsick today. Got him in the first inning, but in the 4 innings since, she has allowed the first batter on each time to a walk or a single. Actually, 1 walk and 3 singles in the last 4 innings. She's worked her way out of jams, though. Only allowed 1 run, and that was only in the 2nd inning. Last inning had a clutch time double play, batting to the 9-hole hitter. Bring up a ground ball to the third base at the top. Good strike on the outside on a 3-1 pitch. Painted the corner. 3-1 now the count with no outs. Swinging count for Ayla Ray. Ray yesterday against Niagara. 2 for 6. Couple of RBIs, couple of runs as well. That pitch is low. Don't actually count as there. Now 3-1. Sorry, it was 2-1 a second ago. Now 3-1. Ray steps back up into the box. 3 walks yesterday. That's why she had sizably less at-bats than the rest of the players on the team. Leaves the pitch high and has their 4th walk of the last 2 days today. Sorry, the 2nd walk today, the 5th walk of the last 2 days. Takes first base. And this is 3 innings already in this game. Out of 5, Mackenzie Kraftsick has got the first 2 runners on, first and second. And Lydia Wilkerson, very dangerous hitter, steps up to the plate, the most dangerous for Youngstown State. Takes a fastball for strike 1. 0-1. See if Barrett's playing even with third base, maybe a step in. Massaro's playing the same, not expecting any small ball from Lydia Wilkerson, considering how much power she has. Ground ball up the middle. Diving play by Martin, but she can't stub it down. Now the throw to the plate is just wide. Sliding in is Bree Kohler. And that'll be a run scored for Youngstown State. Ayla Ray will advance to second on a single by Lydia Wilkerson. They've been very good at staying up the middle with Kraftsick today. It's first run scored since the 2nd inning, but they've had a lot of their singles come on hits up the middle. One of them in the last inning, or 2 innings ago, right off the glove of Kraftsick. That put runners on first and second. Now stepping up is Alyssa Imler. Imler, ground ball to the second baseman. Hannah Hunt flips it wide of Martin. That'll score a run on the error by Hannah Hunt, who chases the ball down, holds the runners at second and first. That'll be an error on Hannah Hunt, who has struggled in the field the last couple of games. Imler will be on. Wilkerson will advance to second, and Ayla Ray will score. 2 runs in the inning for the Falcons and Kraftsick. McKee steps out to the circle to talk her pitcher down to earth a little bit. Kennedy Dean, Ashlyn Bishop on deck, and Cami Diaz in the hole with no outs and 2 runners on here in the 5th inning. 7-3 Bowling Green leads after the 2 runs just scored, Bree Kohler and Ayla Ray. Single and a run scored in the 2nd inning. Got on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, and those are only 2 other at-bats. At-bats in the top of the 5th inning. Line drive out into right center field. It'll get down. Matthews makes a good play to stop it. A run's going to score and hold the runners at first and second again. It'll be an RBI single for Kennedy Dean and bring up Ashlyn Bishop, as this is 3 plays in a row that have scored a runner for Youngstown State. Kennedy Dean been clutch time the last 2 games against Niagara. Yesterday had 7 RBIs. Today already has 2. And it looks like we might get a pitching change. Kenzie Kraftsick has got hit around a little bit. Morgan Beckham will step out for Bowling Green. We'll take a step back real quick as we analyze her. No outs. 2 runners on, first and second. 7-4 lead. Bowling Green leads in the top of the 5th inning, but Youngstown State still threatening. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
聆听世界音乐。
Did you hear that, kids? You too can join the International Humanist Conspiracy. All you have to do is listen to the World Music Show.
দেশের নয় শুনুন পৃথিবীর গান
That's right, music from everywhere but here, Sundays starting at 6 p.m. on WBGU 88.1.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Bella Meyer will pinch hit for Ashlyn Bishop in the top of the fifth inning. 3 runs scored already for Youngstown State off of a couple of hits off of Mackenzie Kraftsick. She exits the game and leaves it for Morgan Beckham to pick up. Beckham will deal to Meyer first, then Diaz, then Truin. First pitch is waist high, just above the waist. We have 1-0 count for Morgan Beckham. The book on Kraftsick, 4 innings pitched, 10 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 runs total, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Decent outing for her. Set up the Falcons with their 7 runs scored to get the win. Now it'll be Morgan Beckham that steps in the game. As I said, won her first game against Kent State on March 22nd. Last 3 appearances, 1-0, 10 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and 5 walks. 2-1 as this pitch is left low after the previous strike. Beckham has pitched very well, is a hard thrower with good off speed as well. Induces pretty weak contact. A lot of pop-ups for Morgan Beckham against Kent State and Green Bay. 2-1 count, another pop-up, but over the press box and foul. Bella Meyer pinch hit for Bishop twice yesterday. Went 1 for 3 with a home run, 4 runs scored, and 2 RBIs with a walk as well in the first game against Niagara. Ashlyn Bishop has struggled a little bit the last couple. 0 for 2 today as well. This pitch just barely misses inside. Beckham's not too happy about it. The umpire's not too happy that Beckham was giving her a talk. Gardner's not too happy about that either. Gardner can't tell whether looks like she's not too happy about the pitch call. This is a full count. Could have been a strikeout looking if it had gone the other way. Bella Meyer will have another opportunity. Full count. Runner at first and second. No outs in the top of the 5th inning. The Penguins trailing by 3 to the Falcons. Here's the payoff pitch from Morgan Beckham. Swinging a ground ball to shortstop. Addie Martin flips over to third base, gets the lead runner, but the runner is going to be safe at first. So they'll get an out, set up a double play, as Bella Meyer will reach first on a fielder's choice. And Alyssa Imler will be out trying for third. I'll bring up Cami Diaz, dangerous hitter, 4 for 6 yesterday. 5 RBIs, 4 runs scored, a double, 2 home runs, and a walk as well. First pitch, just missed inside. Maybe low as well, 1-0. Kraftsick after a pretty good outing, 3 earned runs and 4 innings pitched. Again, set up Bowling Green for set him up for a win as it stands right now. If Beckham can come in and throw the ball as she has had against Kent State and Green Bay as well. An error by Hannah Hunt continued the inning as well that put Alyssa Imler on. Also scored a run. That's where the unearned run came from Kraftsick. Beckham, line drive to center field and fielded by Matthews. So pretty good contact, but right to the fielder. It'll be 2 outs now. Too quick for Bella Meyer pinch hitting and Cami Diaz. I'll bring up the 9-hole, Taylor Truin. Truin with a single, advanced to second in the 2nd inning, and a double play to Addie Martin in the 4th inning. Fly ball out to left field. Delaney Davis under it. She should be able to put it away, and she does. 3 straight outs for Morgan Beckham after she comes in the game and closes the book on Mackenzie Krafchick. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning with Bowling Green only leading by 3 now, but still leading a decent amount. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Catch all the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
Catch all the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
Davis, Massaro, and Matthews to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning for Bowling Green. 3 runs scored in the top of the 5th for Youngstown State. Made it from a 7-1 game to a 7-4 game, so now a little bit tighter. Bowling Green with some more work to do. They have the bottom 3 and then the top of Katie Hutter coming up. Davis has been on a little bit of a hot streak. A hit by pitch in the 3rd inning. She stole a base as well. Did not score. There's flyouts galore with Ava McKee, Hannah Massaro, and Kendall Matthews. Davis will look to lead it off again. Also has an RBI in this game. Morgan Beckham in the top of the 5th inning came in, got 3 outs on 10 pitches on her 3 batters faced. Shut the door on Youngstown State with 2 runners on. Very good job. One hard hit ball, I'd say, but the other 2 pretty weakly hit, and out balls, pitching to contact has been her strength. Quick strike to Delaney Davis. Ogan with the 0-1 pitch to the lefty is low and away in the right-handed batter's box. Dean, both catchers actually, Kennedy Dean and Ava McKee have been brick walls behind the plate. McKee only with 1 gaff, and that was just bouncing off her mitt. Don't think it even advanced a runner. 1-1. The count now. Ogan swinging a miss. Inside pitch to Delaney Davis, who probably was fooled a little bit. Looked like it bent in toward her a little bit as she steps back into the box with the 1-2, trying to protect the plate a little bit. Second baseman pinching in quite a lot. Third baseman doing the same, but shortstop and the first baseman playing deep. So a weird infield lineup for this team. Ground ball over to first baseman. It should be an easy play for Trurin to handle, and she handles it easily. Massaro will come up, strikeout looking, and a fly out to the left fielder in her last 2 at-bats. Did not play in the last game against Kent State. Initially came in and played the field for Katie Hutter, but was replaced by Delaney Davis in left field. Now Massaro playing first base, bunts it down the first base line, faked the slash, and actually goes for the bunt. And it's foul, so 0-1. Shows the bat up high, about in the catcher's vision. Then pulls it back as she did right there. Ogan, now a line drive down the left field line and just barely foul. That probably would have been extra bases for Massaro if it had got down. 0-2. The count to Massaro. Kendall Matthews does a good job of battling back in counts. Hutter has done the same. Barrett, Hunt, everybody in the order has done a very good job battling back in counts. Massaro, not so much. Not the most patient hitter, but a freshman. Playing first base today, moved around the infield, struggling a little bit at the plate. Has an 0-2 count with 1 out. Fly ball out to left field. This one's deep. Chasing it down is Littler, but it's going to fall foul. Another extra base hit swing for Massaro. Pulled both of them. Ogan's probably going to try and Pitch to the outside now, considering Massaro just turned on 2 pitches in a row. So Ogun with an 0-2 count, trying to retire Massaro for the second batter of the inning. Davis just grounded out to the third baseman, or the first baseman. To put out there. Massaro with the 0-2 count. Ogun delivers up and away. 1-2, the first ball of the count. Matthews waiting on deck. Hutter in the hole if it gets to her. 3 runs scored today for Katie Hutter. 2 hits and a walk. Only Falcon to score more than 1 run. Massaro pops it up. Playable for Cami Diaz. Actually, it's out of play. It drifted a little bit to the outside of the third baseline fence. 1-2, and a battle at bat for Massaro, who not working back in the count so much, but is staying alive. Working pitches for Ogun. Ogun up to 91 pitches through that right there, and 4 1/3 innings. Here's the 1-2 from Ogun, and Massaro fouled back into the screen. Still staying alive. Number 4, Hannah Massaro. Batting only 184, 185 this season. 12 hits, a double, and a homer. Homer very early in the season. Not the greatest OPS either. Again, struggled at the plate. 1-2 count, 1 out, and fouled out of play again. Ton of pitches in this at-bat for Massaro, who's not gaining any balls back on a 1-2 count, but is staying alive. Still searching for her pitch. A little bit of a stalemate right now between her and Ogun. Ogun's lost a little bit on her fastball as well. A little easier to catch up to, nearing the 100-pitch mark. Massaro swings, lines it down the third base line. Again, foul. So Massaro still battling. It's good to see out of her, who's back in the lineup today with McKee, who normally designated hits, but she's catching today. Means Chevalier is out of the lineup, and thus Massaro back in. Massaro is a better hitter than Chevalier by about 40 points of batting average. A couple of extra base hits as well. 1-2, outside. 2-2. Now to Hannah Massaro, who just took her first pitch in 4. Increasingly getting windier here in Bowling Green, Ohio, about the 50-degree mark, and sunny, with the winds blowing directly in from left field into the right-handed batter. Massaro swing, pops it up into left field, but way out of play. Wind looked like it carried that one a little bit too far, and 2-2 is still the count, and a heck of an at-bat for Hannah Massaro. Wearing this pitcher down. Matters a little bit less in softball than in baseball, but still got to be over 100 pitches now. Massaro with the 2-2. Ogun's delivery lined out to the shortstop. Good at-bat from Hannah Massaro. She doesn't get a bag for it. Still a very good at-bat as Gardner claps her as she goes back into the dugout. And now it brings up Kendall Matthews, the final hole. Single and a run scored in the second inning. Fly out to the left fielder in the last inning. Matthews looking to get a hot streak going with the bat as well. About 180 up until this point on the season. Decent amount of power as well. Out of her 9 hits, 4 of them are for extra bases, a double, a triple, and 2 bombs. 346 slugging percentage, a 343 on-base percentage. Just nearing 700 on the season, which surprisingly for this Falcon team is on the low end of the OPS, on the low end of the slugging, and on the lowest of the on-base percentage as well. Good, healthy cut, but fouled out of play for the first strike. 1-1 to Matthews. Matthews transfer from Lakeland College, the only transfer from last season to this season to Bowling Green. Batted .310, the 1,101 OPS in her final season with Lakeland College in Illinois. Hitless in her last 5 games up until this point, and snapped that streak with her hit today. 3 hits in her last 12 games played. Now 4 hits in her last 13, and 4 for her last 28. The 1-1 count from Ogun is slapped out into right field. That one's deep. It's got a chance, but it's off the fence. Matthews rounding first, heading to second. She's going to try for 3, looking for a triple, and she's got it. Stand-up triple on the swing and a drive to right field. It's going to put a pretty big runner in scoring position for Katie Hutter coming up to the plate. Second triple of the season for Kendall Matthews, who officially has more triples and individual triples and home runs than she has doubles. Increases her slugging percentage. It gave that one a ride. Katie Hutter will step up with a runner on third base. And 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. BG looking to get a run back, 7-4. Youngstown State trails by 3. First pitch just slightly high, but it's called a strike. Gardner's not too happy. Tells Hutter to get back in the box. Straight up defense for Youngstown State. Maybe the outfield pinching a little bit toward the center fielder. Pitch low from Ogun. Losing it a little bit. She's lost a step on her fastball, but she is the best hitter, or the best pitcher for Youngstown State. 4.38 ERA. Everybody else is 6 ERA or above. Autumn Belke, Macy Bogus, Autumn Boyd, and Bree Kohler. Each not the greatest pitchers, or at least have not performed that great this season. The batting average against, she's the only one sub 300. And actually, Macy Bogus, who's got 48 innings pitched this season, has a 4.04 batting average. 1-2 count, and a foul ball over into the Youngstown State first base dugout. Katie Hutter with the running on third base. It's Kendall Matthews trying to get her in. Fly ball out to deep right field. Losing track of it is the batter. Oh, it's just going to fall foul. Looked like the wind caught it. That would have scored the run on a good swing by Katie Hutter. Probably deserved to be out. Got a foul ball out of it, but you're hoping it would have fallen down and got a run in. Wind blowing right in from left field, now blowing directly in. Probably caught most of that. No wind, and it falls in fair territory. Katie Hutter with a 1-2 count. 1-2, 2 outs. 7-4 lead for Bowling Green. Up and in. Good leave by Katie Hutter to make it 2-2. Wind is brutal outside and getting worse as the game goes on, although the weather is pretty good. 50 degrees. Long sleeves for most, if not all, of the players. Looks like all of the players on the field right now. Coaches as well. Couple of jackets. 2-2, 2 outs. Ogun delivers up and in. Full count now to Katie Hutter. If you're Ogun, you do not want to bring up Addie Martin, because she has not done too much today. Does have a single, advanced to second base, and a run scored on a walk in the first inning. For her, surprisingly, a little bit of a down game. Don't want to have to bring her up with 2 runners on. Fouled off by Katie Hutter. Low and away. Just trying to defend the plate. Not a pitch that's drivable. She's got gaps in the outfield. A big gap up the center. Doesn't shoot center field all that much. Now full count. 2 outs. Runner on third base. Kendall Matthews looking to score. Hutter fouls it out of play again. Directly backwards is on the pitch, but up and in and too close to take. Martin waits on deck. Barrett in the hole, but 2 outs. The last hit, a triple by Kendall Matthews with 2 outs. The reason Hutter is up at bat. Bowling Green threatening again. Payoff pitch, line down the first baseline. That was struck pretty well, but it's foul. All the way into the corner. Ashlyn Bishop still in right field after being pinch hit for. Bella Meyer in the top of the 5th inning with the 3 runs scored. Morgan Beckham came in and retired 3 in a row on 10 pitches. Got Mackenzie Kraftsick out of a jam. Now we're in the bottom of the 5th inning, a long inning. Hutter gives this one a long drive out to right field, playable for Bishop, and she makes the play, put it away. So a 2-out triple by Kendall Matthews threatens, but Katie Hutter flies out to right field, not able to get the run in. 7-4 lead for Bowling Green heading to the top of the 6th. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Northwest Ohio's community radio station is currently looking for music submissions from local and regional artists. As a local non-commercial radio station, WBGU celebrates local musicians and offers opportunities for independent artists to get their music out to the local community on 88.1 FM and worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Submit your materials now by snail mail or Facebook. Get your music on local radio with WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Morgan Beckham back in the circle for Bowling Green. Last inning, 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base for Youngstown State. They get 3 runs back and trail by 3 now to Bowling Green in the top of the 6th inning. There's a fly ball lifted out to left field, and Delaney Davis will put it away. And the first pitch by Morgan Beckham. That was the top of the order, and Macy Littler didn't even have a chance to get her name out before she flies out to the left fielder. Bree Kohler will step up to the plate, and Ayla Ray as well, batting third in this inning as well. Last time Morgan Beckham pitched, she had 3.2 innings pitched, 3 2/3 with no earned runs, 3 total runs given up, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, no extra base hits, and only 1 wild pitch. Game before that, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts, and 2 doubles given up. Good last couple of appearances for Beckham. Already is 4 for her 4 batters on getting them out. Decent contact on her first out on the line drive to center field. But after that, she has produced pretty weak contact. 1-1, the count to Kohler. Kohler had a single and a run scored. Last time she batted, swing and a miss. Outside fastball puts it right by Kohler. She started the strong 5th inning for Youngstown State with her single run scored. 3 runs scored in a row for the 2, 3, and 4 batters for Youngstown State. After that, got a little bit thin. Imler thrown out, trying for third base. Dean and Meyer stranded. Dean with a single, stranded on second. Meyer with a fielder's choice, stranded on first. 3 outs in a row. 2-2 the count. Morgan Beckham pitching to Bree Kohler, lifted out in the air to center field. Kendall Matthews is under it. No wind playing with this one, and it's another put out for Kendall Matthews, and another fly ball. F7, F8. See if we can go for a fly ball to right field. That'd be pretty cool to see on the scorebook. Ayla Ray, the second baseman, and the freshman will step up. 1 for 1, 2 walks, and a run scored. She was stranded on first and third in the first and the third inning, and scored a run in the 5th inning. Second run scored and third of the game. Pop flies it down the third base line and way out of play outside the fence. Early strike. Beckham's got early strikes on all 3 batters. All 3 batters now that she's faced. Contact to the outfield, but not extra base threat-worthy contact. It was just inside, but a hard pitch. And McKee likes the spot. We'll take the sign over from Gardner in the dugout. Relay it to Beckham. Beckham, 5 outs in a row. She comes into the game relieving Mackenzie Kravczyk. Foul ball back out of play. 1-2 the count now. Kravczyk, 3 earned runs on 4 innings pitched. 4 runs total given up. 10 hits, 2 walks. 12 total base runners. Worked her way out of a couple of jams, but started giving up some runs in the top of the 5th. Only 2 earned runs in the top of the 5th. 1 earned run in the top of the 2nd. Just a bit high by Morgan Beckham over the head of Ava McKee. McKee, not the tallest Falcon, and certainly quite a margin shorter than Ashley Chevalier. McKee, 5 foot. Ashley Chevalier, 5'8". Inch difference between the catcher against Kent State and now the catcher today against Youngstown State. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. 7-4 Bowling Green leads in the top of the 6th inning. Beckham, changeup inside, fooled Ayla Ray, but she fouls it off, pulls it into her own dugout. So 2-2 still on the foul ball by Ray. Ray, a freshman, has made a great impact to the Youngstown State team. Over 300 batting average, 2 doubles, 1 home run, over a 770 OPS as well. 2 outs now, no runners on. Ray takes the 1-2 and the 2-2 and fouls it back into the screen. So Beckham is pitching around Ray a little bit. That pitch a little bit high and out of the zone. Ray chases. We'll see where Beckham goes here. Just went for a high fastball. Had a good off-speed 2 pitches ago that missed, or was fouled off inside. Would have missed the zone anyway. Goes back for a fastball. It's grounded out to second base. Hannah Hunt makes the play. Flipped over to first to Hannah Massaro. The Hannah-to-Hannah relay puts out the inning for Bowling Green. Top of the 6th, no runs scored for Youngstown State. Bottom of the 6th, hopefully a couple for Bowling Green. 7-4 they lead heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. WBGU 88.1 FM.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Catch all of the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
One, 2-3 inning for Morgan Beckham in the top of the 6th. The first pitcher today that is able to say that. It belongs to Beckham, who's taking a huge stride forward when it comes to conference play. Or as soon as conference play started, she's really taken a step forward as she struggled through non-conference play. Granted, tough competition for Bowling Green this season, but still has taken a large leap. Addie Martin steps up to the plate. 7-4 Bowling Green lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. No outs. First batter, Addie Martin. She shows bunt. Looks to get it down, but it's foul. So for a hitter that's got so much power, 764 slugging percentage, 10 home runs, 3 doubles, 2 triples. She's bunting with no runners on. She laid down a beautiful bunt her last at bat. Got a single and advanced to second. Trying it here. Ground ball down the third base line. Just foul. Diaz let it fly all the way down. Sun got behind a cloud, it looks like, here in Bowling Green, so it got sizably darker. 0-2 the count to Martin. Martin, Barrett, and Hunt. All 3 have hits this game. 2 of them have runs. Hunt does not, but she's got a couple of RBIs. The 0-2 pitch to Martin. Ogun gets her looking. Martin not too happy with it. Strikeout in a long time for Addie Martin. It'll bring up Taylor Barrett with 1 out. No runners on. Taylor Barrett, 2 singles to lead off her game. 1 in each of the first 2 innings. A run scored, stolen base, and advanced to third in the second inning where she was stranded. Ogun delivers the first pitch of the at-bat, and it's lined out to left field and drops down for the 3rd single of the game for Taylor Barrett. She rounds hard but will stay at first. Then he'll bring up Hannah Hunt with a runner on base. Such a good contact hitter, Taylor Barrett.
Next up for the Falcons, here's second baseman number 2, Hannah Hunt.
Hannah Hunt steps up, runner on. Has it been a while since her last extra base hit? First strikeout for Addie Martin since the second game against Green Bay, and the loss Bowling Green had was still 2 for 4 that game. After going 4 for 4 the game previous. Very good series for her and a very good week for her, the D1 softball National Freshman of the Week. Hunt in the righty batter's box leaves a pitch high for ball 1. 1-1 the count for her. Last time Hannah Hunt had an extra base hit was in the first game against Kent State on March 21st. The time before that, the last time she had an extra base hit was against IU Indianapolis on March 8th. So it's been a while. She's got a runner on first now. Up and away. Well, she's got a solid amount of RBIs, runs scored during that time. No runs scored today, but 2 RBIs on a single and a sacrifice fly. Fly out to the right fielder intermittently as well. Steffes on deck. McKee in the hole. 2-1 from Mogan to Hunt. Low and away. 3-1 and a swinger's count for Hannah Hunt. She's got a decent amount of gaps in the outfield. Infield playing standard. And a decently fast runner at first base, Taylor Barrett. Four runs in the first for Bowling Green, 2 runs in the second, 1 run in the fourth. No runs in the fifth and third. Fly ball out to right field, playable for Bishop. She puts it away. That'll be 2 outs now and a runner on first base for Peyton Steffes, who will step up to the plate. A lot of flyouts for Bowling Green, trying to lift the ball quite a lot. Looks like 11 by my count for Bowling Green. 11 out of 32 total batters faced for Ogun have flown out. Now Steffes up to bat. Leaves it high. Barron's checked back at first base. Steffes has a 1-0 count to her. A single, stolen base, a run scored in the first inning for her. 2 flyouts in the second and the fourth. Now that's in the sixth. Bowling Green looking to get some runs back from a 3-run Youngstown State. Top of the fifth inning, ground ball to shortstop, and a good play by Imler to put the Penguins out of the inning. Bowling Green gets an early runner on, Taylor Barrett, and then 2 straight outs for Ogun as she has retired 2 straight innings of Bowling Green Falcons. We head to the top of the 7th with Youngstown State having their last chance to get 3 runs on the board and force extra innings. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
To get your music played on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, submit your materials via snail mail or through Facebook. Additional opportunities include on-air interviews, live performances, and more. Promote your band and your music on Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Submit your materials now and start engaging with a larger audience. Return to Radio Freedom with local music on 88.1 FM WBGU Bowling Green.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Wilkerson, Imler, and Dean lead off the top of the 7th inning for Youngstown State. The last chance to get 3 runs for them and try and force extras or force a go-ahead against Bowling Green. 5 hits between those 3 batters, as well as 2 runs scored out of the 4 total for the Penguins. 7-4 BG leads. Morgan Beckham delivers a first pitch ball. Now tries a second pitch now, Wilkerson, and puts it just barely inside. Not happy with that pitch either. She could have got it. Just a stitch outside. Wilkerson with 2 singles got thrown out trying for second in the third inning, and you had a run scored in the fifth inning. The final run scored, the fourth run scored for Youngstown State. 2-0 pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Wilkerson yesterday against Niagara was 7 for 8, 4 runs scored, 3 runners left on base and a walk. Pretty productive day for her. Fly ball out, playable for Hannah Hunt as she'll range back onto the grass, put away the first out of the 7th inning. 2 more to go for Bowling Green to advance to 5-1 at home. Third pop out of the game by Youngstown State, doing a good job of driving it to the outfield, leaving a couple on the ground as well, but mainly hard-hit contact for the Penguins against Kraftic and Beckham. Morgan Beckham, her first pitch is fouled back to the screen by Alyssa Imler. Imler made her first play in the field in the last inning to retire the Falcons. Already has a single, reached base, has been thrown out twice at trying to advance to third on an error and a fielder's choice. Has reached on an error and has thrown out twice on a fielder's choice. Pop fly out to right field, trackable for Peyton Steffes. She catches it just a step outside of the foul territory line. Down to the last out is Youngstown State. It'll be Kennedy Dean. It's a hot hitter to be bringing up, and she's going to need to get something done to continue the game. 5 for 8 with 7 RBIs, 4 runs, and 3 doubles and a home run yesterday against Niagara. Today has been a little bit less for her, 2 for 3 on fielder's choice in the third inning. Has reached base all 3 times. First pitch, ball outside. Has scored a run and got on base in the 5th inning, the long 5th inning. One of the reasons the runs got in as well. Morgan Beckham. Her delivery's fouled back to the screen past Ava McKee. 1-1. Dean is 2 for 3, as I said. RBI and a run scored. No runners left on base, but she's got bases empty with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. 7-4. Bowling Green leads. 1-1 count, fouled back to the screen again. Good pitch. Morgan Beckham pounding the zone in the last couple of innings. 2 2/3 now. 29 pitches. 8 batters faced. No strikeouts, no walks, but no earned runs either. 1-2 for Morgan Beckham. Off speed, strikeout looking. She got Kennedy Dean and wins the game for Bowling Green. A no-hitter through 3 full innings of pitching for Morgan Beckham. She closes out the game for the Falcons, gets Mackenzie Kraftic a win. 7-4, Bowling Green beats Youngstown State at home, up to 5-1 in the Missouri field, and is going to get a try at 6-1 in about 30 minutes when we start the second game. So they'll do some field maintenance. I'll run you through the batting order right there. Strikeout looking to end the game for Kennedy Dean, who had a pretty good one. Kelsey Ogan, 6 innings pitched, 7 earned runs on 7 total runs, 11 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Not a bad outing, but has got better as the game goes on. Gave up 6 of her 7 total runs in the first 2 innings. Only 1 run since then. Did not pitch in the bottom of the 7th, however. Bowling Green's Mackenzie Kraftic, 4 innings pitched, 3 earned runs on no strikeouts, 2 walks, 69 pitches. Morgan Beckham came in and was outstanding. 1 strikeout on 3 innings pitched, 33 pitches, 9 batters faced, all 9 sent down as she relieved for Kraftic in the bottom of the 5th inning. An impressive outing for Morgan Beckham, relieving for Mackenzie Kraftic. Assumingly, it's going to be Scarlett Anderson to start the second game, but we'll see how that goes. It could be Morgan Beckham as well, although Youngstown State has already seen her on the batting side of the ball. On Youngstown State's side, 2 hit games for Wilkerson and Dean, both 2 for 4, both with an RBI, both with a run. 1 for the rest of the team. The only 2 players to not get a hit were batting for each other. Ashlyn Bishop did not get a hit, and Bella Meyer did not get a hit. Those are the only players that hit in the order for Youngstown State that did not record a hit. Only 2 for Bowling Green as well. Delaney Davis didn't get a hit, and Hannah Massaro didn't either. But Davis had a productive day, got on base a couple of times. She was 0 for 1, but has a stolen base, no run scored. 3-hit game for Taylor Barrett. She was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. 2 for 3 for Katie Hutter, who got back into the hit column after her 5-game hitless streak. 1 for 14 in her last 12, I should say that. 3 runs scored as well for her on a walk and 1 runner left on base. Addie Martin, 1 for 3 with a run, a walk, a strikeout, and 1 stolen base. 4 stolen bases total for Bowling Green, 2 walks to 2 strikeouts, a decent ratio, 6 RBIs, 7 runs scored, 11 hits for the Falcons, who led only 1 in that category. But the pitching for Bowling Green able to hold the Penguins off of the board quite handily, and we'll see who the staffs are going to be, or the pitchers are going to be, as we head into the second game of the 2-game series on this wonderful Wednesday. Autumn Belke still in the bullpen for Youngstown State. We'll see if she gets a start. She started 12 games this season. If I had to imagine, it would be her. She's got the most innings pitched, but a .340 batting average against and 3-8 record. So she hasn't been great this season, but is the second best pitcher behind Kelsey Ogan, who Bowling Green was able to handle easily. We'll talk to you in about 30 minutes when we come back for the second game of doubleheader. Bowling Green, Youngstown State, and the Falcons take the game 7-4. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.